Hi guys, how you guys doing? You welcome back to my channel. On today's video, we'll be making this shift dress with welt pocket at the front and a placket. I'll be making use of this Ankara fabric for this style, and this bridal satin, this wine bridal satin, we'll be using it for the placket and the welt pockets with the sleeve. The sleeve has this turn up stuff at the sleeve, so I'll be making use of this satin for that. So now guys, let me place my fabric on the table. Alright guys, I've placed my fabric on the table. I fold the fabric by the yardage, so I will be cutting the front and the back together. So now the first thing we have to do is to get the bust points. The bust point I'm working with is 11 inches. So this is my 11 inches. I will mark it here, and I will get the waistline from shoulder to waist is 17. I will not remove my tape yet. Then the next thing I will have to do is to get the hip line. The hip line I'm working with is 26. So I'll mark this here also. And now we have to get the full length of this gown. The full length we are working with is, this is a short gown. So the length of the gown is 40 inches. So I'll mark my 40 inches here, and I'll mark 2 inches for folding allowance. So now guys, let me connect these lines together. So now after connecting these lines together, now we have to get the shoulder. The shoulder I'm working with is 14. 14 divided by 2 will give me 7 inches. So I'll mark my 7 inches here, and the next thing we have to do is to get the length of the sleeve. The length of the sleeve I'm working with is 12 inches. So I'll mark my 12 inches like this here also, and come down here and bring what I have here. I have here 19 inches. I'll come down here and bring the 19 inches. So now connect this with a straight line. Okay, after connecting this, now we have to drop the waist measurement. The waist I'm working with is 27. 27 divided by 4 will give me 6.75, but I'll just approximate it to 7 inches. Then I'll mark my 7 inches here on the waist. I'll be adding 3 inches for ease. So this is my 3 inches mark here. Then next thing we do, divide the hip also by 4. Hip is 38. 38 divided by 4 will give me 9.5. So I'll mark my 9.5 here, and mark 3 inches for ease. So now I'll bring this measurement that I have here. I have 12.5. I'll bring it down to the hemline. 12.5 and mark. So now we're connecting these lines together. First we have to do is to come like this. You can see the way I'm doing it to the waist. You see, then now we'll connect the waist to the hip. Waist to hip. Next we have to do is to connect this to a straight line, the hip to the hemline. So now we'll cut this out. So now guys, let's get the width of our neck. We are cutting the front and the back together. So the first one we have to do is to mark the front neckline. For the width of the neckline, I mark 2.5 for the width. Then I will just come down, making use of this bust point for the length of the neckline. So now we'll mark 1 inches here. This unfold, and I will just connect this with a V shape like this. Okay, this is the front neckline. The next we have to do is to get the back neckline. So for the back neckline, I'll be coming down by 1.5. So now we'll mark the back neckline. So now I'll be cutting this out. So guys, I'm done with the cutting of the sides. Now let's work on the neckline. First thing, we cut out the back neckline. I'll be cutting out this. We don't need this. So now I'll separate my back from the front like this. You know, we cut the front and the back together. So now bring out the back for me to work with the front. So now guys, we are still working on at the front of the gown. The next thing we have to do is to get the length of the welt pocket, where we want the welt pocket to start from. I want the welt pocket to start from the waist. So this is 17 inches. This is my waist line. Then I will now look for the width, where I want it from the center of the front, how I want it to start from. Like I will use, let me use 2 inches on fold. So when we open it, it will be like it will be like 4 inches. So this is my 2 inches mark. I'll come down here also and mark 2 inches. And the length of the welt pocket, let's use 3 inches. You know, I marked 2 inches for the width, as in the distance from each of the pockets. When we open it to be like 4 inches. So I've marked my 2 inches mark here. Then I'll come down here also and mark 2 inches mark. Now we have to get straight line, right? Then we'll now mark the length of the welt pocket. How long do you want your welt pocket to be? I want mine to be like 3 inches. This 3 inches. So now connect this with a straight line first. Then connect this 2 inches also. So now we have a straight line. But you know this pocket is not straight. So the next thing we have to do now is to create a slant line like this. And see how it is. So now I'll be doing this same thing at the other side of the gown. So guys, when you want to mark the pocket, the welt pocket, you would turn to the front of the fabric. It's the front of the fabric you mark. I came down from the shoulder by 17 inches and I marked 2 inches from the center front to get the width of my pocket. So this will be on fold. By the time we open it, it will be like 4 inches. Then I now mark, like from this 17 inches mark here, I came down by 3.5 and I mark a straight line. You know the pocket is not straight, it's slant. Then I now slant it. After this straight line is like a guide. And now slant it like this. So now we'll cut out a bridal satin. We are using wine bridal satin that we use for the welt pocket. You can see I've put paper stay on the bridal satin. After ironing the paper stay to the bridal satin, you fold it into 2 like this to give you this guide. Then you place it on the mark we have here. You can see the way I place it. Then now open this up like this and pin down. After you pin down to make sure it's in place, the next thing you have to do now is to measure. You use your biro or pencil, but let me make use of biro so you can see it, and measure 0.25, not half inches. So you mark 0.25. Then you check where this mark stop. You can see where it stop here. Then I will just use this as a guide. This is where it will stop. Then I will do the same thing also at the down, this place where it stop. I'll do the same thing there also. The width is 5 inches. The length of the bridal satin is by 6 inches. So now you can see the way I mark it. I will go to the sewing machine. I'll be following this guide and I will sew this like this. Now let me sew this and show you guys what it looks like. So I'm done sewing the welt pocket. You can see how it is. Now I will just fold this into two like this and give it a lunge a bit like this and open it up to cut it. I don't know if you are seeing this. Are you seeing it? And I'll open this up like this. Just give it a bit of lunge at the sides and cut the sides like this. Then we'll do the same thing to the other side also. So you can see how it looks after cutting it. This is how you cut it open. Then you remove the pin that used to pin it down and turn it inside out like this. It will go to the back. You turn it to the back like this. You can see how it is now. Cut the other one also. So now we have to give this a good press. You use your steam iron to press this down. You can see how it is. Then we turn it to the front. Then you turn it to the front. Give it a good press again. Make sure you eliminate those foldings there, the way I'm doing. This is how you iron the Welt pocket. You can see how it is. You can see how the pocket is at the front. So now we have to fold the downside. You know, this is the up of the Welt pocket, and this one is the downside. So now we'll fold the down to the up, as in you fold it to overlap. To do that, you can just, to make this easier, you turn it to the back again like this, and make sure this is the down place. You turn it like this. This is the down of the pocket, so you just give it a fold. You can see the way I fold mine, and give it a press. Use your steam iron and press this down. You can see how I press this. Very easy. Press it again. Make sure it's laying down flat. Give this a good press. You can see. So now we turn to the front. You can see how beautiful it's looking. When you want to make your Welt pocket, make sure you give this a good press. You can see how beautiful it's looking. It's overlapping the other, it's overlapping the front. You can see how it is. So now I will do the same thing I did on this pocket to the other pockets. Then I will tell you what next to do. So after giving this a good press, you have to secure the Welt pocket. You open it like this. You can see this place that is like triangle. You go to your sewing machine, you sew this down to secure it so it will not come to the front. You do the same thing on this other side also. So guys, you can see how the pocket looks. I've secured it down so it cannot open. After securing this down, the next thing you have to do is to cut a fabric. The width of this my fabric is by 6 and the length is by 14. You can see it's by 6 and the length is by 14. So now I will be joining this piece like this. The first thing you have to do is to sew on the down of this your pocket like this. You can see I'll go to the sewing machine. I will sew this on 1/2 inches. After pinning this down, you can see how it looks. This is how I'll go to the sewing machine and I'll be sewing on 1/2 inches. After sewing that, then I will open it like this and bring this other side to the front like this, and I will sew on 1/2 inches also. Let me pin this down also. Then after sewing that, the next thing we have to do is to just run a straight stitch. You make sure it's like this and sew on half inches, sew on half inches. I like my pocket to be deep so you can put your phone and you are rest assured that is secure. So now let me sew this and sew the other one and show you how it looks. Alright guys, so I'm done with the fixing of the pockets. You can see how it is. This is the pockets, and I've gone ahead to join my shoulders on half inches. So now we have to work on the sleeve. So now I'll be talking more on the sleeve. You know the sleeve has a turn up. So for us to do that turn up, I cut out the satin on 5 inches, then I fold it into 2, so it's giving me 2.5. So now I will go to the sewing machine. I'll be joining this on half inches. I'm joining this at the back of the sleeve. You see how it is? I will go now and join this on half inches. So now let me go and join this and show you what it looks like. So guys, you can see I sew the satin at the back of the sleeve. Now I will turn it to the front like this. So this is how to sew a turn up sleeve. Before we do that, I will give this a good press and I will sew on this edge like this. So now let me iron this and sew it and show you guys what it looks like. Alright guys, I'm done with the sewing of the plackets. You can see how it is. You tuck this one in and you let it overlap a little like this. You can see how it looks. The next thing we have to do is to, we came down from the shoulder to the waist measurement by 17. So you not allow the placket to get to the waist. You come up by 1 inch and you cut out the placket. Come up by 1 inch like this and you cut it out, because the placket is not getting to the pocket. It has to leave like inches before the pocket line. So now I've cut this out like this. The next thing I have to do is to fold the sides with my iron. So now I'll do this and show you guys what it looks like. Then after securing this down, so now I'll go to the sewing machine. I will be sewing from this joining here straight down, and I'll stop the sewing from like 1 inch up. Alright guys, I'm done with the sewing of the plackets. Now we have to join the sides. I'll be joining the sides by 1 inch. So now I will just turn this to the back, mark 1 inch straight down. Alright guys, I'm done with the joining of the sides. You can see how it looks. Now I'll fold the hem of my gown and display this on my dress form for you to see. Alright, we're done with this gown. You can see how beautiful it looks. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like. I'll be at the comment section to answer any of your questions. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate you. God bless you.